Rarely has mankind hesitated to eradicate the creatures that stand in the path of his conquest. If we find ritual extirpation undesirable, ladies of another world, the rest must be destroyed. Is it possible that our dark past? Watch out and pray.
Greetings, ladies, gentlemen, government agents, W.J. Meyer and his crew of 32, and anybody who might be listening. This is Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind, episode 29. I'm your host, Tasker, and we have our usual guest / actual, I think you're actually part of the podcast, Nick.
Yeah, I've been a part of the podcast. I'm getting paid for this out of my own pocket, by the way.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I am a co-host. I'm an official co-host.
It's pretty amazing to watch Nick pay himself. Like he, you reach into your pocket, you pull out your wallet, you pull out the dollar, you wave it in my face, and with this little like pelvic motion, which is really disturbing. And then you put it back into your wallet and then back in your pocket. You give yourself a pat on the back, and then you make an irresponsible purchase.
And then I say, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for my payment, Nick.
It's like it's kind of cute and endearing, but also highly disturbing, and I think says a lot about your current mental state.
Yeah, it's all fucked up. Everything's all fucked up right now. So if I have to pay myself to feel like I'm getting paid, then so be it.
Mm-hmm. I made this joke on accident the other day, but I'm going to try it here and see. So, hey, Nick, what state are we in?
California?
Wrong. We are in a state of disarray and chaos.
That was good, and it hit too close to home.
It's, yeah, it was one of those jokes as soon as you say it, you're like, oh, man. But before, of course, we get started with our usual programming, how's your horoscope looking?
Let's see what we got here, guys. So, July 14th, 2020. A female friend you haven't seen for a while could surprise you with a call.
Oh, no.
Oh, boy. A lot of interesting news and useful information could be exchanged that benefits both of you. You may take a number of short journeys throughout the day, Cancer. As you have a lot that needs doing. A small increase in income could also be in the works. In the evening, rent a romantic video.
Dude, that just sounds like you're being blackmailed by like a past lover.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah,
I'm not.
like...
that is not a good thing to happen in my life right now.
They're saying like, yeah, save up money and something they could reach out to you. Dude, that sounds like they're gonna be like, I got incriminating photos of the felonies you committed
and your micro penis,
yeah.
And I'll fucking send it to everybody.
I know you got at least 20 listeners on your podcast, and they're gonna think you're so weird.
you fucking small dick piss boy.
That was your rapping name actually back in junior high, right?
Small dick piss boy.
Yeah,
that was it, dude. I had a reggae project under that name too.
It was incredibly offensive, so it did not last long.
That's only because I did a Jamaican accent and nobody was cool with that for some reason. But Sean Paul can do it. Fuck him, man.
A fair assessment.
What's yours looking like today, bud?
Let's see. Your romantic side is flying high today, Scorpio. The opposite sex in general and your own partner in particular are going to seem especially attractive to you. Mm. You could also see in an entirely different light someone you think of as a friend. Oh, Nick, is that... Is this happening on the podcast? Are we going to ignite the fires of passion just like Brokeback?
Bend over to the table real quick and I'll show you.
Okay. An increasingly busy social life in the future is possible, so expect to hear rumblings about parties or other social events. Yeah, so what I'm gathering here is that you're probably going to get blackmailed, and then in the stress of being blackmailed, I'm going to just lose myself to the throes of passion and launch my physical self at you, which could cause a lot of problems in the future, possibly. I mean, it's that whole, like, money and blood don't mix, like two dicks and no bitch.
Yeah, dicks and butts don't make no babies, you know what I mean?
Not that we are opposed to it, but it's just we're trying to keep our podcasting relationship
platonic
and professional.
Yeah.
And notice I said podcast relationship.
Mm-hmm.
You don't know what happens afterwards. So for all you know, it could be happening behind the scenes.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't tell you.
And if you had a problem with it, you're a homophobe. So congratulations.
Go fuck yourself. Like, dude,
after I fuck Tasker, you can go fuck yourself.
Yeah, damn right. And dude, and that's a fucking order. Oh, geez. Well, glad we're starting this one well, as always.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is our last in-person recording, so
Yeah.
a little bit of a sentimentality here, but and that's why we're celebrating with just violent butt sex.
Yes. Yes. And I want everybody out there to know, first off, dicks and butts don't make no babies. That's a fact.
That's just
that's a biology fact.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean you can't do it.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean? Just fucking go for it,
In
man.
fact, the fact that it doesn't make babies, in fact, I think makes it
better
more
because
appealing.
you don't have to stress out afterwards.
Dude, yeah.
You know what? You know since high school what I've called anal. Right? Nature's condom. So it doesn't matter if you're doing it with a girl. It doesn't matter if you're doing it with a guy. Just put it in there anyway.
But, like, it's still, you should consider still pulling out, though, because shit can leak. And not literal. I mean, like, your jisms could possibly, it has happened before.
Like leak out and then go in?
Yeah, well, it's like, it depends, where she's angled and stuff, and, like, gravity does its thing, and, like, it doesn't take a, and it depends on how, like, powerful your sperm is, and also just how fucking unlucky you are. I'm not a man who takes chances on shit like that, though.
I am.
Yeah, of course you are, and yet you've made it this far. It's pretty amazing.
I know it's pretty fucking. Well, I'm probably sterile.
Oh, this is probably true. You did drink a lot of Monster as a kid.
Okay, guys. Well, guess what we have for you today?
A very sexually charged episode. I mean, more aliens.
Aliens. We're
Actually,
doing
that's accurate. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, this one is actually, there's no butt play involved, unfortunately. We can pretend there was, and I can make up a story if you guys want later in the episode. But we're going back to aliens, and we're doing something we haven't done since damn near the beginning of the podcast.
Oh, yeah.
We're doing an abduction.
It is actually very, in a weird way, really nostalgic because our first episode was a Gundy Mackay abduction.
Yeah, with all those fucking Australians.
Yeah, back when we were sharing one Yeti microphone.
On your literally propped up and lifted into the air by like 12 books.
Yeah, we had to use like every novel, and it was all like Harry Potter. I mean, I'm not that much of an avid reader. But
It was Harry Potter and manga.
Yeah. I wish I had more manga. But yeah, no, I'd say we've come a long way. We're almost at episode 30.
Yeah, fuck. 30 weeks, man.
Yeah, 30 weeks. And it's it's been really awesome. And it's like a nice, I think today's a good little timestamp or a little moment to just say like, oh fuck. Like and like you were saying too, the fact that we're doing an abduction, I think is a nice little nod to what got us started, because obviously we've branched out a little bit more because, sometimes there's a lot more things we're interested in.
Yeah, there's a lot of things out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of things. Our name implies that we're going to be talking just about aliens, and I understand that, but it's first off, it's a clever ass name. And second, we can talk about cryptids, we can talk about conspiracy theories, we can talk about the end of the world. It doesn't matter, but we're always going to come back home to aliens.
Yeah. And I love our name, but it's a search engine nightmare. Like, I think word of mouth is our only hope.
Yes, that is, it's a long name.
Yes.
And as you can imagine, the first thing that comes up usually is like the movie Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
Yep.
But you know what? As we get more listeners and as you guys are supporting us more and more by listening to these episodes, getting more followers on Spotify and stuff, our name has gone up the Google list.
We have actually. Yeah, it's been pretty, and it's listeners like you that are doing this.
Yeah.
So thank you guys. Your work is paying off. Soon we'll have enough of a legion to finally take down Epstein's legacy, and that we can finally rise up and really put a stamp down, crush this like pedo rings.
Yeah, or take their place, whatever you guys are feeling.
Oh, Jesus Christ. But yeah, so without further ado, we should just get right into it, huh?
That's right. So everybody, I want to welcome you back to the worst possible comedy show in history you could be listening to right now.
But emphasis on the possible.
Yes. And we try our best to bring the worst jokes.
Oh yeah. It's like anti-humor.
Yeah, that's kind of our thing. We're kind of like anti-joke.
Yeah.
Like we want to set you up and then like knock you down.
It's just kind of like ironic that like the best type of comedy is the comedy that's not even intended to be funny. But,
because comedy's definitely like worn itself out over the years, so the only comedy left is non-comedy.
Exactly. I mean, hold on. Sorry, we got to discuss this later. I got to go dye my hair green and blue.
Yeah, but go ahead and post it on your Tumblr.
Dude, see, the joke there is I don't have any hair to dye.
Yeah, he's bald. But you could dye your beard hair.
I just feel like that just looks dumb.
Yeah, That would look pretty dumb.
Yeah, and to watch one of our listeners has like a diabetes. He's like, okay, and then just like fucking unsubscribes.
Good. So today we will be talking about something, like we said, we haven't talked about in a while. And that, of course, is an extraterrestrial abduction.
Dun, dun,
And
dun.
if you couldn't tell from the title, you daft cunts, right? Because look, it says in the title, I'm pretty sure the title of this episode is going to be The Abduction of Sergeant Charles Moody. And if you couldn't put two and two together, guess what? I just spelled it out for you. We're doing an abduction.
Yeah, we are.
I'm fucking so hungry right now. I can't even think straight.
An Australian abduction?
No, we're not doing an Australian abduction. This is taking place in America.
Oh,
Yeah, I know it's boring. Not going to be able to do any accents or anything.
that's not stopping you.
I'll still make him sound dumb. So and we will be discussing the abduction of one Sergeant Charles L. Moody. And now this is a credible abduction of a credible man. Without further delay, let's spread the cheeks of this story and just tongue dive right in.
We're keeping with a good motif today, I've noticed.
Yeah, the sexual tension is palpable.
It's really bad. And Nick, as usual, is like noticeably cuddling. What's it called when you have your hand out in like kind of like a bowl like fashion and you put your balls,
Like you're coddling?
coddling it, like cradling. Nick is cradling his balls, which is actually a really good thing to do every now and again as you get older in your male lifespan to check, for any lumps or bruises. Not bruises, but
I have 3 balls, so.
Yeah, that one of those is not a ball, Nick.
What?
Alrighty. Okay, so we got Charles Moody, not from Harry Potter.
Don't understand the reference. Never will.
Yeah, well, that's a shame for you.
Okay, well, Charles L. Moody was a sergeant in the United States Air Force, and he was, at the time, stationed in Alamogordo, New Mexico. What a dumb...
The most SoCal way you could have ever pronounced that.
what do you want me to say? Alamogordo?
Alamogordo.
Alamogordo.
You have to say it like you're about to sell some...
Death sticks to somebody?
Death sticks, yes. I just think there was an old commercial for El Pollo Loco, and it had this like Hispanic dude with like these really long like cheekbones and like really like chiseled jaw and stuff. And I just remember for some reason there's certain commercials in life that just like stick with you for I don't know, but I just remember it was like when El Pollo Loco chicken meets fire, it's love, and it's like
So I have a news for you.
What?
If that really stuck in your brain, you might be.
there might be some things I need to explore a little bit more.
Yeah, you might need to do a little more experimentation in your life.
Oh, I mean, hey, dude, you saw my horoscope.
I did see your horoscope. It was pretty damning.
And this is true. But it does not necessarily mean it has to be you right in front of me. I mean, maybe I'll be walking down the road and see my Hispanic prince to take me to my happy future.
Yeah. Oh, I'd hope you guys don't get AIDS.
Yeah, shut the fuck up. That's not cool.
Okay, well, on August 13th, 1975, Moody discovered that there was going to be a meteor shower that night, so he decided to go out into the desert and set up in order to observe the shower, I imagine he drove out there, he got some beach chairs, maybe a couple towels, probably brought some, what do they have in New Mexico? Probably some cerveza.
Yeah, and meth.
And meth. Meth. A lot of meth.
Yeah. Have you ever gone meteor shower watching?
No, I have real things to do with my life.
Wow, I thought you of all people would be a proponent of it.
Nah, I don't have the patience, man.
It does take. I've never done it myself too. So, what kind of fucking alien podcast are we?
Well, I'll go look for UFO sightings in the sky.
Right.
But I'm not gonna. If somebody's like, "Hey, there's a meteor shower. You want to come watch tonight?" I'm like, "Yeah, fucking catch me next Woodstock too, asshole. Yeah, I'll be there." You guys, deodorant optional? You know what I mean? Fuck.
It sounds more fun watching my screensaver.
Now, everything was seemingly normal, and it was supposedly a very beautiful meteor shower.
Oh.
But just around 1:15 a.m., things took a bit of a turn. Now, as Moody was looking up toward the sky, he noticed that there was a shiny, metallic disc-shaped object coming down from the sky, roughly 300 feet in front of him. And you know what? I know it's weird to throw a number like 300 feet out there, but if he's a man in the military, he might know his distance. I don't know.
I don't think that qualifies you as a. Well, I don't know. If you're a sniper, I'm sure you can like sort of have a rough estimate. But
Yeah.
even then, I always kind of felt like that was more of like a feeling kind of thing, right?
I have no idea, man. I couldn't tell you the difference between 20 feet and 100 feet. I have no fucking idea.
Yeah, no, I'm like okay at judging distance, but no, I'm lying to myself.
I know. Now, as the unidentified flying object got closer to him, Moody was able to estimate its dimensions, stating stating that it was somewhere between 50 feet in length and 20 feet wide.
Oh, so we got Sergeant Moody, the human ruler.
Yes, yeah. He seemed to have broken out his protractor, did a little bit of a calculation in the sky, and then figured it out with the distance.
Yeah, that's fucking
like some
guy.
kind of fucking Rain Man.
Yeah, it seems a little. Well, we'll see. We'll keep going.
We'll see. Now, as soon as the craft was about 15 to 20 feet from the ground, it turned on its own axis, almost as if it was waiting for Moody to make a move. And by turning on its own axis, I mean that it was literally just kind of hovering there, and it would just turn kind of like this.
So did it go from like hot dog to hamburger?
It would go hot dog, hamburger, hot, but in like a circular orbity motion.
Oh, okay. So like a. Okay, I can see that. It's we're throwing a bit of the Z-axis in there.
Yeah, sure. The Z-axis,
Yeah.
Professor.
Hey, what can I say, man? If fucking Moody can like judge a fucking goddamn flying sheet of metal in the sky, I can fucking make shit up too.
All right, that's fair.
But Z-axis is real. That's actually in 3D. A lot of 3D animation.
Oh,
it's
that's-
in all 3D animation. It's the third dimension. There's the Y-axis and the X-axis, which is 2D. The Z-axis is with the 3 in 3D.
So what do you have for the fourth dimension and the fifth dimension and the sixth dimension and all these dimensions that are out there?
Well, there's a reason why it stops at Z. It's because everything else doesn't exist.
Yeah, well, it's because it doesn't exist to your pineal glands are so fucking closed.
But one could argue a 2D drawing would forever be unaware of being 2D.
Yeah, man, because 2D drawings are dumb. And
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And they're also non-sentient, so it can't happen.
Well, debatable.
Well, actually, yeah, I shouldn't make that point because my career might hinge on people buying my nude anime drawings.
Yeah, so fucking stop talking shit, man.
You got a point.
After a few moments, the UFO decided to make the first move, much like a woman fed up with a little piss boy beta's shyness, right? So like you guys ever know your friends the ones that are like, oh, I really like this girl, and I think she likes me too. Like I heard a rumor she likes me, but I just don't know if I don't know what to do. And you're just kind of like putting your fingers together, going like, you know. Do you know how fucking tired women are of that? Men out there, tired of it. Just stop being a little piss boy. Walk up to her and be like, you, me, movies, tomorrow night, 8:00.
I take you to cave.
And just fucking you tell her how you feel because she's tired of she's tired of waiting on you and she ain't gonna do it.
I can't help but point out the rhetoric of little piss boy that sort of reflects on what we had said in the beginning of the episode. Nick, is this autobiographical?
Yes, I am a little piss boy.
Your rapping name, that's what it was. Yeah. Oh my god.
And so instead of Moody making a move, the UFO was like, fuck this, and started coming closer to him.
So the UFO was the alpha in this situation.
The UFO was the alpha female.
Got it.
Yes. I'm probably gonna get shit for that. Even though I technically complimented them, I'm probably gonna have a Tumblr account made and just in the name of damning me.
People are going to be already mad that you made an AIDS joke earlier. So.
Yeah, but dude. I mean, that's been around for like since the early '80s. It's not a big deal.
Yeah,
AIDS is not a big deal.
I know you're going to use your usual excuse of comedy is my coping mechanism.
Yeah,
not an excuse to
because I have AIDS.
Yeah, it's that third ball you have. No, I don't think that's a symptom of AIDS.
No, that's just cancer.
Yeah, it's something way worse, I think.
Now, naturally, Moody got up and booked it to his vehicle as anybody fucking would. Mm-hmm. He tried starting his car, but of course, it didn't start. And we see this a lot in UFO sighting cases and abductions. Electronics and vehicles somehow become interrupted by the craft's presence, so like an EMP.
So it's not just some shitty, like, Friday the 13th movie luck?
No, this is a pretty common occurrence.
Interesting. Okay, because I was going to call bullshit on that. I'm like, that just sounds like he's dressing up the story. But, if we're going under the hypothetical assumption that this actually happened, it would make sense that if something did come from like a different planet or something with like, because of course the Earth has a big like magnetic field, and
Right.
they say actually that has a much larger impact on life on Earth than a lot of people expect. And actually they say our heartbeat leaves a little electromagnetic pulse, and that's why, you know how sometimes you see people and you just get like weird feelings about them or good feelings about them even if you don't know them at all, like that vibe. Actually they think there's a chance it could be actual electromagnetism, that we have like a connection to that because our Earth is electromagnetic, and that your heart rate and your pulse and like the way your body moves gives off a certain electromagnetic thing, which is why we can get certain vibes from people without ever talking to them.
I mean, that makes sense, but there's definitely something there. There's something there that is underneath all of us that connects us. I don't know if it's the magnetism. I don't know if it's spirituality. I don't know if it's fucking the Woodstock, dude. Hey, I'll see you guys there, dude. Woodstock 2020, man. Fucking bring me LSD, dude.
Oh, jeez.
Is Janis Joplin still alive?
Jeez. The point, though, is that with our own electromagnetic way of doing things, if somebody came from a different planet, which probably has a different electromagnetic everything,
Yes.
chances are their technology has a similar pulse to that. And so it would make actually sense that if something extraterrestrial came, that it would mess with our electronics.
It very well could. It very well could if they're giving off a certain vibration, which they usually are. As we all know at this point, everybody, it should be in your fucking notebooks. All extraterrestrial creatures have different vibrations, man. And that's just it. I'm trying to raise my vibration.
But it can also just be sci-fi icing just to make the story sound cooler.
Nah, I think it was the first thing.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Moody is inside of his car that just doesn't want to start, and the UFO stops a good 70 feet away from him. Again, he's real brave estimating these distances, but I'm thinking he's trying his best.
I wonder if he has like a little like notepad he keeps pulling out. It's like, that's about 70 feet.
Well, you know what I think, and I was thinking about this is, as a military man, he's probably, and a sergeant at that, he's probably used to having to write reports about stuff in high detail. So he's probably used to like trying to estimate distances, or he's trying to get all these little details in because he's used to writing reports like this.
And that makes sense too, because somebody like that, if they're meant to be in combat and you don't like, you know, we're joking, like, you know, he's writing notes, but you probably do have to be really good at taking mental notes and being like, because like you said, you got to make a report, because also too, if you, I don't know a whole lot about military, but I know if you don't do a report correctly, that could be your ass.
Oh yeah, easily, man. They'll throw you in the fucking stockade, and you'll have to blow Obama or something.
You and I actually learned the other day was it was some guy was it was a post on Reddit about how to be better when people yell at your face, and I was searching that because of reasons. And there was a guy who was because he was Navy, and I guess it was like, I don't think tribunal's the right word, but there's like a sort of like when even if you didn't do something, if you get summoned into this thing, basically it's just like a like panel of like 10 of like the higher officers, and they just grill you until you just like fall apart and like confess to shit you didn't even do, just because they don't care who did it. Somebody needs to get punished. But they said the method of surviving those was to have a contest to see who can yell the loudest and in your head. So that way it's like, instead of like internalizing them yelling at you, you're turning it into like a game for yourself. And that's how you can try to like keep a stiff upper lip when you got all these like big scary guys like screaming at your face and telling you that you're better off dead and shit.
Nice. Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah. So yeah, it's just, I don't know. We're talking about military, so it just got me thinking.
Well, panicked and not sure what to do, he waits to see if the UFO would make a move again. Then suddenly, he hears a high-pitched noise, almost like a mix between, let's say, a humming and a screeching sound. And it's kind of like if you guys have ever heard a cat having sex with another cat, where it sounds almost like, you know,
like it's being
enjoyable, but also at the same time, somehow it's like it seems rapey.
Oh, I thought you meant enjoyable for like the listener. I was like,
yeah, I mean, well, it depends. I mean, if you guys listen to cats having sex in your spare time, you have like a whole Spotify playlist of like cat noises, and that's like a problem. But
yes,
I don't kink shame. Can't do it.
As long as you are not harming anyone, as long as you are simply listening. Like I said, it's definitely fucking weird, and you should feel weird. kind of like how I feel right now. Like, I actually don't think I can get an erection for another week.
I'm hard.
And that's the difference between you and I. Nick, this non-platonic off-podcast relationship might not work.
I know. I'm sorry.
we have two different enough tastes. But,
oh shit.
You know, that's my big thing. It's like, you know what, man? Like, if you're into like weird shit like that, like, go ahead and be, as long as you're not harming anyone or like, you know, playing that shit over like a loudspeaker and like ruining people's days, just keep it to yourself, you know, and don't escalate. Don't escalate.
Go further.
Don't do it. We really are. Actually, I'm thinking about the dynamic of the podcast. I think we are kind of like a shoulder angel and shoulder devil kind of dichotomy.
We are. We always have been, man. And
Yeah.
I wonder what people have done with our advice.
Probably nothing, because they get a little bit of each and they're just like, fuck it, I'm just going to get an ice cream.
Yeah. That's fair.
Good for you. Ice cream is delicious.
Upon looking closer at the craft, Moody noticed a rectangular window near the top of the craft with what looked like humanoid silhouettes inside. And moments after making this observation, the loud, high-pitched noise ceased, and then Moody felt a numbing, tingling sensation begin to spread all over his body. Again, this is textbook abduction scenario right here. They usually have some kind of numbness or a tingling sensation over their body as the UFO is kind of closing in on them.
Oh, so just being in like their presence can kind of like fuck your system up?
Well, the theory is that it's something that the UFO's emitting or the beings are emitting in order to paralyze you and make you like not be able to feel your extremities, so you can't resist.
I'm still gonna lean on electromagnetism, that they have a mastery of it and they understand our level of it, which would require a lot of research of our planet.
Yes.
And how they can use that against us.
Which they've been doing for decades.
Oh, obviously.
And as soon as the numbness took over his entire body, Moody blacked out. And the next thing he remembers was him seeing the craft rise into the sky, quickly disappearing, and him being very disoriented and confused. Mm-hmm. And that's it, guys. Thank you for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, that's great. Credits roll if possible. We're ending it forever. Which, by the way, that was a test, because if we said, you remember last episode, we said if that ever happened, try to find us, because we are being detained in some hidden military missile site. Yep,
and our brains are being used in order to create super soldiers from aliens that have been captured, because clearly we know the most about UFOs and extraterrestrials. So they're using us against our will.
Well, and that's probably why they haven't shut us down. It's like, these fucking nerds doing all the work for us. Like,
I didn't know that, huh? Interesting.
Oh, shit. Yeah, let's let them go for like maybe another 100 episodes. Then we'll murk them.
You know what? As long as they pay me somehow, I'm fine. I will be your extraterrestrial consultant. I don't give a shit. Mm-hmm. But like, I'll even take food as payment,
dude. If one day we just got swept up, blackout, and then I wake up and I just get an unmarked like military check like every month for the rest of my life, like, do it. Yeah. I'm okay with a year of my memory just being gone, and then I get to live the rest of my life like with steady income. I don't, dude. Okay, I don't need to be rich. I don't want to be rich. I am plenty happy being able to one day afford a home, and not have to buy Jim Beam anymore, buy something like I can like reasonably budget in, like Jack Daniels or like a good scotch, like a Glenlivet or something every now and again.
A part of me wants the same life where I just don't have to really remember work, or I have to work, but I don't remember working.
Yeah.
And I get paid for it by the government, but also I don't want to work for the government because that's like everything that I stand against.
Yeah, this is true.
So it's like, it's a tough call, man.
It is a tough call. And though I did say I didn't want to be rich, if I had the opportunity, I mean, would I take it? Hell, fucking yeah, of course I would. Yeah. But, it's one of those things where it's not my like end game all goal. Like I don't feel the need to, if I die without being rich, like I'm going to feel like I failed in my life.
Right.
No, it's like one of those, like, I think being rich is a majority just luck kind of deal. And dude, if I just had enough money to live, I would consider that a successful life well lived.
That's fair. And if you do want to get rich, I heard there's a lot of business in trafficking.
Oh, Jesus, no. Just because we were reading about Epstein and shit.
I mean, hey, I'm not going to do it. I don't condone it.
All right. Because it's a horrible, horrible problem with the whole planet.
If you're going to do it, though,
fucking
try and keep them of age.
Liam Neeson is going to fucking fuck you in the face and kill all your friends. Like, don't do it. It's a horrible crime. And we recently, I mean, it's like I almost don't want to do an episode because it's such a developing thing right now with the whole like.
We could get into it.
Yeah, with Epstein and like after his like his quote unquote suicide, Ghislaine, yeah, and her fucking like the legacy and all that shit left over, and how they're using like Wayfair to like sell kids under the guise of like one of a kind like furniture and shit, but like with the kids' names on it and shit. Like, I mean, I guess if there's enough info, we could probably get into it. Like, I don't know. You think we should wait for the story to finish? Or
No, the story's never going to finish, man.
Yeah,
unfortunately, it's not.
Yeah, that's true. So, yeah, maybe we could do like a human trafficking episode because there's some real creepy shit that's going on with that.
Yeah, and we'll place like little bits in there, like little tips on how to do it, but subliminally, like how to traffic.
No,
all right. You already agreed to it, so you can't go back.
We just recovered from that horrible thing you said, and then you just went right back to it.
Well, hey, I'm just coming full circle, man.
God damn it.
Well, after he woke up and saw the UFO flying away, Moody got into his car and put the key into the ignition. It's the remix to ignition, and turned it on. And of course, the car started now that the craft was nowhere to be seen, and that's again a pretty common thing. And of course, he was terrified, so he sped off and just wanted to get home.
And before anybody's like, "Oh, what a bitch!" Like, dude, I get freaked out when like things are just like kind of out of place. Like not in like my bookshelves need to, my room is a fucking mess. So like it's not like an OCD kind of thing. But like, okay, imagine like you're walking down the street and you see trying to think of just something that would be like really unusual,
like women allowed to vote or something.
That's not what I'm talking about. For example, there was this like little thing set up because I live kind of near a school, and suddenly they had this like little like setup thing with all these like pop-up stuff like just on the street. And that alone, I was already like, what the fuck is going on? And it turned out it was because with COVID, all the teachers were having like a drive-up method of being able to like go and like they bring your shit out to you and you could just pick from like your classrooms and stuff because obviously they weren't going to reopen. But that already was kind of like, what the fuck? Like kind of got me like, So you're driving at night by yourself. You see a giant goddamn fucking saucer flying your way. Dude, you're going to be scared.
Yeah, so anybody who thinks they're going to be big balls, boy, ain't going to happen, man. Even me, even the person who's most prepared for something like this.
Oh, yeah.
I'm still going to fucking piss myself. So, because you don't know what's going to happen to you.
Yeah.
Well, I know what's going to happen to you. You're going to get probed.
Yeah,
most
easily.
of the time.
Yeah.
This is the only story I've read recently where it did not end in a forced milking. So
that's the best part, though.
I know it doesn't sound too bad.
Yeah, that sounds. And then you get government checks for the rest of your life. Well, no, he doesn't get it, huh?
No, not him.
Ah.
So upon arriving home, he was shocked and confused to find that the time was just after 3 a.m. And thinking back to around the time he saw the craft initially, Moody realized he was missing somewhere around an hour and a half of his life that he just couldn't remember.
Dude.
And we've talked about this before.
That shit's like still freaks me out. Like, I remember it was like the other day I was like feeling this like weird like something, and the first thing, because you fucking said that forever ago, if time skips you're like you got fucking abducted.
Yeah.
So it was that weird, it was almost like a I wouldn't call it like a deja vu kind of feeling, but that feeling like something's kind of weird. And the first thing I did was check my phone to make sure no time skipped. And fortunately, there was no time skip. So didn't get abducted. I think I'm just fucking psycho.
You're just a little special. You're a special boy.
Yeah.
You're a special boy. Do you guys like to eat grapes? And sometimes I put the glue on the grapes so it sticks to my mouth.
Is it just your goal to like be as offensive as possible before you move?
Yeah, I'm fucking anxious, dude. Moving is so stressful, and this is how I get it out. All right, I'm sorry if there's any listeners that listen here that their keepers let them listen, then fucking congratulations.
No.
I appreciate it.
Oh my
but
God.
I'm sorry if I offended you.
Oh my God, you're not sorry. And
Plus, your vocabulary's never
Nick,
mind.
stop. Just stop. Though I do say on a list of like top stressful things in like life, I know public speaking is actually number one, and above death itself. People are more scared to talk in front of people than they are to die. But I think moving is considered to be one of the top 10 most stressful situations for like kind of a standard person. Because I mean, yeah, obviously, if you're like a soldier or something like that, yeah, being in war, like hot zones, is way more stressful than moving.
Yeah.
But like, you know, if you're kind of like a run of the mill type, you know, moving it's up there.
And it wouldn't even be a big deal if it was just like in the city, in the same city, just a different place.
Right.
fucking another state, man, it's like, oh, bro, like it's just like I don't know,
Whole culture change.
It's a whole culture change. So if I'm a little angsty and like if I'm saying things that are extra offensive today, now you know why. And I'm not cutting it because you guys need to know what's going on in my life. And this is how it is a coping mechanism. I know you always make fun of me for saying that, but it's true.
It's actually, and actually that's something you could even gauge in the podcast in the future is like if Nick just starts really just like grilling hard on like really like inappropriate subjects, you're probably going through a rough time in your life.
Yes. That's so just know that, I don't mean anything by it. Thank you for listening. Even if you have an extra chromosome, like, hey man, you're just a homie with an extra chromie, so don't even worry about it.
That's very nice of you to create a tagline for it.
Well, I saw that on the internet. I thought it was cute.
Yeah, good for you.
All right. Well, much like we're going to put all that fucking stuff aside that I said.
Yeah, please.
Moody ended up putting it all aside for the time being and went to bed naturally, right? He's pretty fucking tired.
Mm-hmm.
And the following morning, Moody awoke to find that his lower back was in a decent amount of pain and wasn't sure what it could have been from. But he had a sneaking suspicion it had something to do with his missing hour and a half from the previous night.
Motherfucker, they blew his back out.
They did. They put him to work.
Yeah. Hey, good for him, man. It sounds like he's a man of talent.
Manual labor builds character.
Yes.
That's why... Never mind. All right, I'm not going to go there.
Yeah, I think you're wisening up.
Look, I was just going to say that's why the landscapers and the people
it's
that
like,
are, the construction workers
it's
and the people that you hire from Home Depot to do work for you are such good people because manual labor built. And I think a couple of their names are Manuel, right?
Thin ice. No, not you were on thin ice, and then you just start stomping and jumping up and down, saying like, "Oh, see, nothing's going to happen." Find yourself in a frozen, watery grave, you fucking asshole. God damn it.
Oh, man. Woo! I got jokes.
Yeah, for days.
And Moody went back to his life as normal for a couple days. But soon after, a large rash broke out all over the lower half of his body, just below the pain in his back. And it could have been one of two things. Either it was from the abduction or a real bad case of herpes.
Yeah, I was going to say, what if it's a combination of both? The alien herpely-yerpelies.
Ooh, that sounds... tasty, actually.
Yeah, it sounds like actually something you could probably get at the Rainforest Cafe.
I haven't been there in years.
I was gonna say, dude, I'm surprised I even thought of that, dude. I think I went there when I was like 10.
Yeah, I like that place. I go there often.
Oh, why do you frequent the Rainforest Cafe?
It's the atmosphere. I like the gorilla.
The kids' meals.
The kids' meals. It's like a good place to pick up chicks.
You're like the one like mid 20 something guy like at the rainforest. You got like the spiral straw coming out of your like your neat whiskey.
Bring me nuggets. Do you guys have nuggets here?
Oh god, the guy where his fucking whiskey and chicken nuggies is back. That actually, if I heard somewhere like some sort of statement of some suspicious character ordering chicken nuggets and whiskey, I am 100% gonna just call you and be like, dude, what the fuck?
Yeah, where are you?
Yeah, why are you doing this? Why are you terrorizing people again?
So Moody decided to visit a doctor and explain to the doctor what had happened that night and that he just couldn't recall what occurred during that hour and a half, but tried explaining that he felt the rash and the back pain had something to do with it. Naturally, as most sane doctors do, he recommended that he see a hypnotist in order to try and recover the lost memories during that time period.
Okay, I don't know if that was a bit, or do people actually feel going to a hypnotist is like the way to fix your problems?
Yes.
This isn't fucking Office Space where you can go in and they hypnotize you to be just like a cool, chill guy, and then what is it? They forget to like take the hypnosis off, so he's just forever.
He died. Yeah, remember the guy who got a heart attack?
He does
in the movie. Remember he got a heart attack after he gives him the
that's right
the thing, so he couldn't get out of it.
Such a good movie.
That was a good movie. But yeah, no, hypnotism is especially in missing memory cases or like memory regression, even with like trauma patients and stuff, like psychological trauma patients.
Okay,
fairly popular. there's people against it, but there's also people who really are into it. So you got to just like pick your side of the fence. Personally, I think there's something to it because I think that we repress a lot of things, or there's things that make us repress certain memories. And I think that with enough subconscious diving, you can access those memories.
I just think it's crazy you could still make a living as a hypnotist nowadays. Like,
that's what I'm going to school for full time. So
I don't think they have degrees for that.
Nope.
Pretty sure it's just like a.
So who am I paying my money to?
You gotta find somebody, I guess, who knows. Like, I don't even know how you go. It'd be like the good old days, you know, when you wanted to be a blacksmith. Well, you had to find a blacksmith to pick you up as his apprentice, or if you wanted to be an artist, you had to be picked up by a master painter and become his apprentice. Because if you're not an apprentice, you're fucked.
Yeah, like electricians these days.
Is that how that? No, I think you could just go to trade school for that.
I don't know, man. I keep seeing all these job things online for like an apprenticeship at like electricians and stuff. And I'm like, man, maybe that's like it. That and plumbers, and that's it, dude. Like, you just fucking have to like follow some person around digging shit out of people's like toilets and also their electronics.
Yeah, but you also make a hell good living doing it.
You do. If I wasn't such a germaphobe, I would have been a plumber already, bro, making at least $100K a year. So, but
yeah,
I can't because if I refuse to fucking touch other people's shitty toilets and try and fix the shit out of them. Yeah. I refuse.
Well, and it's honest work. And to all you who do it, thank you, because. Well, also, and I'm glad you're being compensated for it. You know, it's glad that you can go home to your wife and kids and stuff, and that you can always just take a shower, and it's like it never happened.
Yeah, see, that's one thing I don't bash on is people's vocations, because I think everybody contributes to society in their own way, and they do a damn good job of doing it, except for artists.
Yeah, okay, I was waiting for it. What is it? I think artists made the list of top like non-essential workers.
Sorry, man.
Dude, y'all, we need art. Like, y'all don't even realize, like, all your road signs and shit, that's graphic design. All your fucking posters and, I don't know, the graphics about COVID that talk about it and tell you what to do, and all the signage and stuff like that, that's all art. Like, y'all,
look, man,
you talk shit, but
the Renaissance is over, man.
It's everywhere. Right? That doesn't mean we need a fucking full-fledged, anatomically correct painting of a nude to tell people, hey, you should not cough on each other's face, or... I don't know, just fucking, dude, it's just, oh man, I'm so triggered. I'm thinking back on, I used to work for Blockbuster, and I was at like one of the last ones in my hometown. Two of them, actually. I was at one, then it shut down, and I moved to the other, then that one shut down. But one of the big things is, especially when you work for a closing store, is, of course, you're liquidizing everything. You're just selling it all off to companies trying to pull in as much money as they can with, product that doesn't matter anymore. The thing with that is there's no refunds. So if you ever go to a store closing thing, or like I know like Hertz is going under, so they have a lot of like used cars for sale. But the thing is if the car breaks down in like 3 months, you can't, because there's no returns. The company doesn't exist anymore. So we had big old signs everywhere that said store closing, everything on sale, no refunds, no returns. And I don't, because I know you and I have both worked a lot of retail and stuff like that. We both have like a lot of experiences of people like using us as a punching bag, because that's basically what a lot of like entitled assholes love to do. So I can't say how great it felt when some old guy came in with like 10 DVDs, because back then we actually watched DVDs, and he threw them on me. He walked in, he throws it at the front counter, and I'm like, can I help you? And he's just like, I bought these, and like one of them works. I'm like, sorry, dude, no refunds. He's like, what do you mean? And he started just screaming, and dude, it was the best to just be like, hide behind the policy. Like, sorry, man, nothing I can do. Yeah, you can. You're the manager. And I'm like, nope, nothing I could do. And it was great. At one point, it escalated to just be like, dude, I'm not gonna get fired for you, man. Like, this is just, I'm not gonna jump on that grenade for you. And it felt very good.
That's good. Yeah, it's always good.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sorry, I just kind of got a little heated there.
Yeah, it's okay, man. Don't worry, it's all fucking over now.
Yeah, thank God.
So back to hypnotists. Moody took the doctor's advice, and over the next couple of weeks, he regularly saw a hypnotist. And after these few weeks of hypnotism, Moody was able to establish a timeline of events that happened that night. And this is what he recalls. And we're now going to get into what happened during that hour and a half. So right when he blacked out after the numbness overtook his body, he observed two beings walking toward his car from the UFO. These two beings were around 6 feet tall, and they were wearing tight black bodysuits kind of like the ones that you might see scuba divers wear to keep warm in the water. You know what I mean? Like a bodysuit, like something like that.
This sounds like backstage on Broadway.
It is. It is. Hugh Jackman's there and everything.
Lucky.
And Moody and the two beings got into a bit of a fight, but eventually Moody passed out, and the next thing he remembered, he was on what resembled a surgical table, assumed to be somewhere in the craft. Like, and again, we hear this all the time with abduction scenarios. When they are able to find out what happened and they look back into their memories, most of the time they are on some kind of examination table, like a very cold, very sterile environment, you know, like a doctor's office, honestly.
Very medical kind of setup.
Exactly, yeah. And he was unable to move, but next to him is what he described to be the leader, or what he thought was the leader of these extraterrestrial beings. And the reason that he thought it was the leader was because this one was about a foot shorter than the other ones, but he was wearing a white bodysuit instead of black like all the other beings he had saw. So either he's the doctor or the leader, something like that, right? Something different about this one guy.
Yeah, he was a bit of a focal point. So
Exactly, yeah. There's your art degrees coming to use.
Oh, that's actually a high compliment coming from you.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thank you for bringing it to the podcast, man.
Dude, I try.
Are you impressed that I knew what a focal point was?
You're learning, man. No, it's you absorb shit. Like, it's
only because you talk about it all the time.
Yes, this is very true.
He doesn't. He's always talking about focal points and like, what does it mean, man? There's fractals inside of them, dude.
How the fuck it is this Fibonacci?
Yeah. It's like it's ruining his life. There's like,
so far,
you can't see his room, but up on the walls there's like scribbles and drawings of like different focal points in art, like highlighted from like famous works of art. And he's like, "This is the focal point, man." But look at his eyes; it's like fucking, it's like the golden ratio. And he starts like jerking off every time he talks about it,
just furiously jacking and just being like, "Anatomy versus stylization. Which one's better? What's the best in between? I need to make money. Titties."
All you art fans out there will get that joke. I just laughed because it was the polite thing to do.
Wow. Fucking dude. When are you moving? Is this
soon? Like 3 days.
Yeah, okay.
Don't worry.
Let me know if you expedite it.
Oh shit. I'm gonna miss that.
And then we sad.
So the description Moody gave of these beings was that of a typical gray or tall white. Right? You have your large hairless head, round black eyes, whitish gray skin, small nose to no nose, like where it's just two holes in the head. Typical and skinny. Typical like tall white. And I'm gonna lean hard on tall white because of the fact that most of these beings were 6 feet tall and not 3 feet tall.
If you ever wrote a children's book, I feel like it would be called "It's a Tall Gray White," right? By Nick.
I like that. That's nice, dude. And kind of get kids interested in aliens, you know? Get them interested in the subject.
Yeah, it's good you're taking a Seussical method.
Yeah. Oh, man, Seuss was he was anti-Semite, wasn't he?
I know was problematic. Who was he? No, I'm thinking of Shel Silverstein, who looked like a fucking like convict. But dude, he was like the best guy, and he was like a super nice dude. Apparently,
I remember his things where the sidewalk ends and shit.
Yeah. I really liked those growing up, and like the illustrations really made it. And he did the Giving Tree, which is a fucking tearjerker.
Never read it.
Oh yeah, that's probably why you're so cold and heartless.
Oh shit.
It's a good story about a tree that gives an apple to the kid, but as the kid grows up, he starts to like not give a shit about it, and eventually like the tree gets like cut down, and it's like, I don't know. I just remember as a kid being like, "What the fuck is like?" I'm so like sad now.
I'll probably read it, and I'll give you my review on it the next podcast. But let's do that. The next podcast, I'll read The Giving Tree, and then I'll give a brief review of it in the beginning of the show.
Okay, good. And if it takes you more than 10 minutes to read it,
how big is it?
It's a children's book.
Yeah.
It's like 12 pages.
Look, man, not all of us read at like 12th grade level.
And 80% of the page is a picture.
What if I have to sit there and figure out what the picture really means, right? Don't they say that there's 1,000 words in a picture?
Okay, don't you try to fucking like philosophize art in my domain.
I'm just saying, man, like if I have to sit there and look at these pictures of this tree, Is it really a tree? Or does it stand for something else? Like, what is he really giving the kid? Hepatitis? Like, what is he doing? You know what I mean?
Pretty sure he's giving him an apple.
What is the apple, man? Think about back to Snow White, man. Remember that bitch, that old witch bitch? She was giving Snow White an apple that she dipped in poison, remember? Because it had the scary skull face on it. And so that's symbolism, right? That symbolism draws back apples and Adam and Eve. Pretty sure that fruit that Eve ate and fucked all of everybody over with, by the way, was an apple, right?
I feel like clarity of artist intention resonates enough to know that the apple in the giving tree is not a fucking allegory for Adam and Eve and killing sleeping princesses out of jealousy.
I'm just saying apples are an archetype, man. And that's something is there. Something is there.
Is that why it keeps the doctor away? Because it just makes him think of religion and then it makes him too scared to go on mic?
Yeah. Yeah. There's something there. I'll give my review on the next episode.
Thank you.
After I get through it. It's going to take me about a week.
Oh, go back to Hooked on Phonics, huh?
Now, the leader communicated telepathically, again, like Greys do. Greys and Tall Whites, telepathy, and asked Moody if he would behave peacefully if he relieved him of the paralysis. And, of course, I would have, just like I would do, and I'm sure you would too, I would agree to it just so I can get out of that state of paralysis because it's fucking horrifying.
Right.
So he agreed to do so, and the leader then took out a rod-like object and touched it to his lower back. And after a few moments, he was able to move again like nothing had happened. And I don't know where he pulled the rod out of.
It's not. It doesn't even say it's a rod. It's a rod-like object.
Yeah,
so.
touched it to the small of his back. Fucking
could be their way, who knows?
Didn't think about that. The leader then asked Moody to come with him. And of course he did because he had no fucking choice.
Oh, yeah.
And what followed was basically a tour of the ship and its different rooms. Most notably was the room he called the quote-unquote drive unit. Basically the command room where they pilot from.
Well, that's very nice of them.
Right? They're giving him like a little like HGTV kind of a fucking tour. Like, hey, what's the curb appeal? Like, how much can I sell this for,
It's better than what happens when you wake up in an operating table in America.
Much better because there's a couple things that could happen, right? Like, what do you think's one of the things that you'd wake up to?
Just straight up being tortured.
Yeah. Yep. No painkillers.
Nope.
Nothing. You're just kind of getting ripped open or stitched up.
Yep, basically.
One of the two. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because I don't think organ harvest is like a huge thing in America. Like,
no,
that's kind of a
that's an Eastern European thing.
Well, it's not something I necessarily want to get into because we're already on every list under the sun.
Yeah,
and but let's just say, if you wake up in an operating table and you see aliens, you're probably better off than waking up in an operating table in New Mexico
or like Lithuania or something.
Oh yeah, you don't want that.
I don't even know where that is. I just threw that name out there. Do you know that? Do you know where Lithuania is?
I'm gonna say Europe.
Right. I'm gonna say Eastern Europe.
I'm gonna say Northern Europe.
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Wait, you're talking like the Scandinavia?
Sort of, yeah.
No, I'm 80% sure it's like over by Russia.
Okay, let me get a signal.
And I shouldn't be talking shit. I'm pretty sure we have we have a listener from Lithuania.
Uh-oh.
So,
well, that's why we're getting it right from.
Yeah.
It is in the Baltic region of Europe. Okay, let's see the map. It is bordering Poland.
Okay, so yeah.
Yeah, so it's more like it's sort of in the middle of Europe. It's bordering Poland, it's above Ukraine, it's under Sweden, Norway, and Finland.
Oh, so it is in Eastern Europe because it's over by Ukraine. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the type of place that you can guarantee you don't want to wake up in an ice bath.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
With one of your kidneys just like kind of gone, grew legs and walked out.
It's funny that they put you in the ice bath. That's like, and they fucked you hard, but like at least they
they're like, I don't want him to die. So,
at least they didn't kill you.
I wonder if they left a juice box for him too.
Ugh, gross.
Moody said it was confusing looking, but what stood out the most in this drive unit area was at the center of the room. It was a huge crystalline structure with rods sticking out. And he thought it looked more like a power source than a machine meant for piloting, which is super interesting to me. Picturing a crystal as a power source. Maybe it was something from a resource from their homeland where it's just like for us, a resource we use is fossil fuels, and we could turn that into fuel. Perhaps this crystal from their homeland can be used as fuel for their ships.
Dude, if we had crystals powering like cars, dude, that'd be so sick. Feel like lightsabers.
That'd be fucking dope sandwich. We would have lightsabers.
Yeah. Yeah, we would.
God damn it. I wish we had lightsabers.
There's a lot of ways that can go wrong real quick.
Yeah.
Because it's one thing to have a sword. I mean, yeah, those are definitely dangerous. But lightsabers, if we're talking like true to the canon of Star Wars, this thing could cut through almost anything.
Yeah.
Like,
that's why I want one. Oh, yeah. I want a lightsaber letter opener.
Yeah.
Like a little something you open envelopes with, you know?
That's kind of adorable. That would be fun.
And also I can cut my toenails with it.
And also you're going to like sneeze and then suddenly it's in your like frontal lobe and now you're dead.
And I don't have feelings anymore. Not to say that I did anywhere at the first, you know.
Or maybe it'll reactivate them. I don't know. Maybe you'll cut off that right part of the brain and then suddenly you're just going to become like hyper like what's the word? Not sensitive. The word is what's it called when you empathetic?
Yeah, maybe. That would be nice, wouldn't it? If I could relate with people and know how they feel and wonder why they're annoyed when I poke them with pins and
yeah.
Doesn't make any sense, but I'll figure it out one day.
Yeah, someday, man. Well, hey, maybe the move might be good for you. Maybe it'll jostle things up a little bit. Or this is the first step to your path of murder and mayhem, and in which case I will enjoy writing the book about it and making a shit ton of money because we made a bunch of these episodes together.
I just want you to know that the place I'm looking at to move into does have a basement. I'm throwing that out there, but I'm not incriminating myself because I just saying that it has a basement.
And they're giving you like your own space and all that stuff?
Yes.
Okay.
I know, it's not great. Not a great idea. Because like, what's the worst I could do down there? As Nick, not in general, like as a human.
Oh, okay.
Like, what's the worst that Nick would do in his own basement?
I mean, we make jokes like, you know, like you're going to go on like a murderous rampage and stuff. But I would actually venture to say, if we're talking actual with what you're capable of, probably at worst, just really disturbing porn.
Really disturbing porn and witchcraft.
Yes, actually, no, you're right. And
that's all I would do.
Yeah, it was very nice. As a little going away tiding, I know you gave me was it smoky quartz?
Yeah.
Which I refused to touch for the first 5 minutes. You brought it out because I thought you were trying to curse me.
No, man, it's a good thing. It's a good thing, man. And now you have it next to your desk. You can literally use smoky quartz. Smoky quartz is good for absorbing negative energy. It's good for grounding and it's good for protection. So look, man, I got you, dog.
Yeah, and I need all of those things, especially with art.
Yeah. So there you go. Now it's next to your pad, and you can just fucking groove out with your tool out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And that's the goal, is just try to like get it in the urethra a little bit more every day.
Oh God! All right, that's disgusting. And Moody was shown more parts of the ship, and while doing so, he noted that there was a sweet aroma wafting through the air throughout the ship. And I don't know what the significance of that is, but he thought it was significant enough to point out.
They Febrezed it. They wanted to make sure it was all nice and clean
for a visitor. They had a little tour going on.
Yeah, let's see. Now they're very considerate.
Yeah, very nice.
Yeah.
It seems fine. They didn't do anything to him, so
right.
far so good.
Yeah.
He also was told by the leader during the tour that their mothership was miles away from Earth. And by the way, I do want to bring up that in one story he's told, and this is a little damning on his part, he said it was 400 miles away that he was told, and another person he talked to about it, and he said it was 6,000 miles away. So that's kind of a fuck up.
Oh, yeah, Mr. Living Yardstick Andy fucking up, huh?
So the mothership was miles away from Earth, and they were essentially just visiting Earth in order to determine if mankind is ready to learn the truth about extraterrestrials, basically a big coming out thing. But get this, the leader also told Moody that after their talk and visitation with him today, they would wait another 20 years or so to try and make contact again, basically deciding our fate because of this fucking idiot they had decided to abduct and they didn't like him.
He failed the test.
He failed the test hard and just ruined it for everybody.
Okay, I like this story now.
They were like, fuck you.
He's like, okay, he's kind of fucking
He's
annoying.
a simpleton. Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, "Dude, what does this crystal do in the middle of the room?
He's just going around like measuring everything. He's like, oh, that looks about 5 feet.
Yep, 20 feet hallway. Yep.
This will go good into my report and stuff.
And shortly after that revelation, the tour was over, and the leader put his hands on either side of Moody's head, and he blacked out once more. And that is where we left off earlier in the story, when he awoke and the craft disappeared into the night.
Can't you get the same effect just by going like, bah, and just smacking people like on the sides of the heads?
In the temples?
Yeah, would that knock them out?
I think that would kill you.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I've heard it kills you if you hit him hard enough in the temple, like that vein, there's an artery right next to the temple.
Okay.
And you punch it hard enough, night, you know?
Yeah, isn't that the same thing where like in the armpit there's like a big old vein?
Yeah. Left armpit.
Okay, not that we're condoning that.
No.
We're just protect those parts of your body.
Protect those things. Those are very sensitive areas that can be exploited.
Yeah. Well, especially if we're in like, California, which I know everyone's still freaking out about the big earthquake that's supposed to happen, like the apocalyptically big earthquake.
Yeah.
Protect your neck, protect those temples. Don't lay down with your arms up so you can have a fucking big old rock land on your armpit artery.
Yeah, you'd fucking die.
Yep, GG.
Instantly, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Good way to go, though.
Yeah, at least it's quick.
And everybody, that's really it for the Sergeant Moody abduction story, because he didn't really go looking for money or fame from this story. In fact, it was quite hard to find things on this story. I found a few articles, and I literally pieced together this outline based off of the articles I found. You know how like on the last couple abduction episodes we did in the beginning, we would talk about the after effects and like the interviews they've done and like if they seem legit or there's no interviews. There's no...
Oh, yeah, because he's embarrassed the aliens didn't like him.
Yeah, he's like, I didn't want to be the one to ruin it for mankind. And apparently when I farted when I woke up, and they're like, methane. So barbaric.
I'd be pretty upset too. That's like leaving it like at the interview, they'll just be like, oh yeah, we will keep in touch or some shit like that. That very like business like dismissive.
Yeah.
And you're just like, I fucking did not get that.
He's like, I fucked it up.
Mm-hmm. And actually, and it's weird because sometimes they'll do that on purpose to throw you off, and then you might get like the job offer. You're like, what the fuck? But with him, I think with him, it's like he was like, oh, okay. Well, no, they were straight up. They're like, yeah, we'll come back in like another 20 years.
Yeah, 20 years sounds about good.
Yeah. He's like, oh, fuck.
God damn it. Goes home and cries. I didn't get the job, man. I'm never going to get out of this town, man.
It's a little sad.
And you know what else is really sad? Remember those files I sent you for the Count Chocula episode? I sent you like, dude, it was like 14 gigabytes.
Oh, yeah. That was a big one.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
You have it, right?
Yeah. It should still be there. I backed it up.
Can you check real quick and see if it's on your computer?
Okay, one sec. Sorry, I gotta fucking... it's on... Gotta wake it up. Gotta put my computer on sleep.
That was like 14 gigabytes of information that we had, including pictures.
14?
Yeah.
Because I'm only saying 6.
6?
6.
Altogether?
6 gigs.
Fuck.
Are you sure it was 14?
It was 14 gigabytes. I remember because I was like, that's a specific number.
Shit. Well, I did have it backed up before. I'll have to keep you updated on if I could find that hard drive, because that has a lot of the goods. Because I'm kind of like scrolling through right now, and like the stuff that's in there, it's like it's bad, but it's not like bad.
We had his nudes, and I sent you his nudes.
Yeah, that was...
we were going to put him up on Facebook.
Yeah, that was going to be this week's post. Like, we were going to really give you guys a good teaser as like kind of a gift to like, a parting gift as Nick moves. But so I'll have to look for that hard drive. It might still be there somewhere, unless they might have already gotten to it. But
shit. I didn't think about that. Yeah. The representatives from that cereal company have been kind of bugging us lately.
Yeah.
So...
Well, and they know too, because I made the mistake of trying to watch old Count Chocula commercials, but... I didn't use my that fucking thing.
Oh, you didn't have your VPN on, dude?
Yeah, I didn't.
Come on.
Yeah, it was bad. So I think they triangulated everything. I have a heavy feeling they know exactly where I'm at. So actually, maybe you moving is a perfect thing, because they won't know exactly where you're going. So
well, I'll be sure to check. Okay, the next time I do research for Count Chocula, I will have my VPN on.
Yeah.
NordVPN, go to nordvpn.com/CEOTPK.
Dude, I would love it if NordVPN had us at.
I'm just kidding. We are not sponsored and by anybody, let alone Nord. All right.
But that'd be a very good day.
Nord, if you're listening, I literally gave you free fucking listens.
Yeah.
I will have my VPN on, and then I will be sure they don't triangulate my position. It might be too late for you. I might have to find a new co-host if they get their hands on you, because the shit that we're finding on Count Chocula is really, really bad.
Yeah. Well, and then like we said before, we've been cautioning everyone. If either one of us just disappears suddenly, or like, suddenly there's a new co-host, like, worry about that.
Yeah.
Think about that stuff. And if you suddenly go through and listen to the episodes and like certain bits of it is a bit kind of scrubbed out, or suddenly there's no more Count Chocula outros, because that's usually when we tend to give our updates on our progress.
Yeah.
Be concerned.
Be concerned. Find out what happened to us. Avenge us.
Yes, please.
Or rescue us if you think we're still alive.
If you're triangulating us just as much as the government is, use your powers for good.
Yeah. Yeah. Dox us for good.
Yeah. Don't do that.
I'll cut that.
Thank you. So, that being said, if you're listening to us on iTunes, if you could please rate and review, hit us with a 5-star, help us to get more of that sweet publicity, so we can have more of us, and share the wealth, share the love. Follow us on Spotify, please. We are on Instagram at CEOTPK, Twitter at CEOTPK1, Facebook. Just find us under Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind. If you want to hashtag us out, CEOTPK is so we show up on search engines.
Yeah.
You can email us too if you have, as I'm sure, have plenty of complaints about what we've said today.
Hey, look, I explained myself, and I'm not going to explain myself again. I refuse to be canceled.
CEOTPK1@gmail.com if you want to make your attempt. Or if you're more of like that, more of the lawyer type who likes your conflicts, live and not in person, but more on like a live setting, you could talk to us on discord.gg/lowercase b 6 capital
T's nuts.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Discord.gg/lowercase b 6 C T 5 M X. We've had one post in there forever. I think it was a Dark Souls reference.
Yep. Nobody is talking to us.
Yeah.
Guys, talk to us. Like, I literally have nothing better to do right now.
Oh, yeah, and with Nick moving and stuff, I know you got like a lot of traveling ahead of you. So
I have a 12-hour drive coming up. Please join the Discord and talk to me for 12 hours. I will make it worth your time. I don't have money to give you, but I will shout you out on the podcast, and then I'll also call you names if that's your thing.
Yeah, you have a good discussion too. Like I said, you got time.
I have time. I got nothing going on.
But if on the flip side, if you feel we deserve monetary compensation for what we do in any which way, you could donate to us at ko-fi.com/CEOTPK. Send us a couple bucks if you feel like it.
Yeah, just like enough to buy a coffee. It's a bit. So the website is a bit, right?
Yeah.
So it's coffee spelled K-O. It's like a KO-FI. But the bit is that you just like do little donations. Like you can set it. We have it like at $3, I think. Mm-hmm. And it's because that's how much a cup of coffee is. You get it? Do you guys understand the joke?
Like all legendary comedians, you have to make sure to explain the joke to reassure the audience that they get it.
And the worst thing is, it's not even my joke. It's a fucking website's joke. They just didn't explain it well enough.
Yeah, it's basically Patreon without the
perks. Because,
the
guys,
perks.
Unfortunately, like we said, we don't have money to give perks.
Yeah.
We can do shout-outs. We can do, like, stuff that doesn't cost money. We can give you guys... we're thinking of ideas for Patreon. Trust me.
Like
it's not like we're not talking about it.
We could send you, like, our own, like, homemade tinfoil hats, which is quite literally just a sheet of tinfoil. And by the time it goes through the mail, it'll just be tinfoil again.
But we'll sign it.
Yeah, we'll sign it.
And we'll wear it first, and then you'll have my lice. So
Yeah.
congratulations. But we are in talks of Patreon. We're not quite at the level we want to be at yet. We don't think a Patreon is justified right now.
Right, and we want to make sure that if we do end up pulling that together, that it's going to be worth your while.
Yeah.
And also, we have a lot going on right now. We have COVID happening. Nick's moving. There's just kind of a lot of moving parts right now. So I think the best way we could put it is we're going to try to survive this year first.
Yes.
And then we'll keep you updated as we go. And like, we're going to try it. Like we said, if we start a Patreon, we wanted something that's worth your while.
And if you guys have any ideas for what would be cool for perks that you guys would enjoy, hit us up with it. We could do the email. You guys can tell us on Discord, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's hard to come up with ideas for this kind of stuff. So if you guys out there know what you want as a Patreon of a podcast, let us know what you would want, and if it's something we can do, we'll do it.
Yeah, and I think also too is the fact that if we do it, we have to like stick to it hard because people will be paying money for it.
Yeah,
and I'm a huge proponent of because I'm the type of guy where it's like if I put my money, like I remember I backed on a Mighty Number 9, like it was a video game by a bunch of ex Mega Man people. I never got my copy of the game, and I never got any of my. I was so fucking mad. And they kept delaying it. It was a disaster. So it's like, we want to make sure if you're paying us money, you should be getting something you want. So like Nick said, if you think of something, let us know. We have some open forums for you guys if you want to talk and let us know what you're thinking. But like we said, probably will be a little while.
Yeah, so don't worry too much about that. For now, we appreciate anything you guys give on coffee. And just remember, guys, even if you get abducted and you're probed and milked, or if you get abducted and you're just given a weird tour of the spaceship, just remember that the truth is always out there.
Or you could just look them right in the eye and said, "You're fake. This is all fake. I'm dreaming." It may just make you feel better, but just remember with this whole truth thing, it's not. Close Encounters of the Podcast Kind, episode 19. I am your host, Tasker. And
19. Redo
19?
this.
Fuck me. Oh,